from the other side, you could say, and this was my agreement, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Totally fair, unless I ask you. So unless I ask you, I don't want to know if you're asleep with somebody else. Especially because we were in distance, you know, and we were like opening this only in distance. So then it makes me think and makes me doubt of myself, Caitlyn. So I want to know, what do you think about this? Because it makes me think, maybe I'm not brave enough. Should I be more the warrior archetype, and just face it and practice like heart opening and receive the new when she do something, when she connect with somebody, is like hear it, and even if I'm like kind of unprepared, it's like be ready. It's like I am escaping from that. I was asking myself, I'm escaping from that. I don't want to know because I'm cheating my pants, or because it's a genuine, loving, base intention. So I was really doubting about that. And actually, I still have that question. I mean, it's not very relevant anymore because I'm not in that relationship in this moment, but it's still, sometimes I wonder if that was very genuine, or if that was like, I don't want to know because I'm scared that potentially this may end up the relationship. I'm scared of all the pain that this may bring. And because from one perspective, you should say like, yeah, but you need to face your fears, right? And my fear is knowing she's living with somebody else. So maybe.
But are you afraid of her? Are you afraid of her sleeping with someone else, or are you afraid of what that might mean? Like, because she could sleep with someone else, but then she comes back to you and, you know, wants to be with you, or she could sleep with someone else and she could want to be with them. Like, is that the fear?
I think part of it, yes. Part of it, yes. I guess there was a lot of fear that eventually she may find somebody that offers more than me. And this guy, let's say, will fill her needs better than me. I'm feeling that is very like man thing. Is more often on men or whatever in terms of like, no. Like, I want to satisfy her in all the areas.
Women are exactly the same.
Of great sex, of food, of money, of like intimacy.
Yeah.
I think it was that mainly, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would thank you for sharing that. And honestly, I have felt exactly the same. And the feeling, oh God, that feeling in the body, just like, it's like fire, like liquid fire. That's how it feels for me. And it's so hard and uncomfortable. But what I would encourage is in those moments, and this is the beauty of non-monogamy, because we are faced with these pretty huge fears, and they're big. It's like, I'm not good enough. Someone else is better than me, and they're going to find that out pretty soon. And that is scary. And I love this person, and I love being with them, and I can envision, you know, our life together. And so it's a really scary feeling to feel like that could be at risk of loss. So the beautiful thing here is to confront that fear, not necessarily. So just like, even now you could do it, you know, like in retrospect, but confront that fear and really interrogate it with love. And then eventually what we find is that actually we're safe, and that the chances are, it's like it's a trust thing. Trust that I am good enough as I am, trusting the other person to be in love, and then trusting life that I am safe no matter what happens. Because the truth is that this person could, even if you're not in an open relationship, they could find someone else. They could also die.
Can happen. The fear can happen, right?
Yes, and we try and control it, but the truth is that it's a possibility. And the real question is just, how safe are we? How much do we trust life? This is really a question about God, and trusting in our innate beauty and worth. So this is a really beautiful experience, actually, because it can, by like moving through it, it can bring us closer to, oh my God, I can just relax. Oh my God. And even if she did, like, because this is the other thing, she loved at that moment, you know, you guys were super, super, super in love, and you had something special. And then she was with this other man, potentially, and they have something beautiful as well. You wouldn't want it to not be beautiful, obviously. And so if she did really fall in love with this man in a way that was so like all encompassing that she felt like she needed to break up with you, like, would you want to stand in the way of that love anyway? And so then it's like,
Exactly.
okay. And then it's just trusting. It's like, okay, so clearly like we're not supposed to be together in that way. So God must have something else for me. I trust, I let go, I surrender.
That's epic. That's epic.
And
I
it's
mean,
easier said than done, I know. And one of the practices which you know well, to help do this is a process called voice dialogue, where basically you have a pillow in front of you and you put your fear on the pillow and then you talk to it and then you swap places and you embody the fear and then you talk back to Sebastian. And so, and all the while using your emotional
from the space
release
of the
tools.
fear.
Yes.
And you keep
And so then
swapping
your
roles.
fear, yeah, and you don't sugarcoat it. So your fear is saying like, are you fucking crazy? We could lose everything. Like, what are you talking about? You're happy for her to, you know, and then you talk back and, you know, and then that's the way that you start to give love to your fear. You start to feed it in a way that it actually starts to dissolve it. And then you actually start to bring it into a place of wisdom and power where it can be an ally to you rather than like sabotaging you, you know?
So powerful.
But it's okay. It's all learning.
When I realized that even in the fact that if she left me from this another guy who, let's say, provide her better in terms of her needs, in terms of whatever it is, in terms of like he's more emotional available or he fuck her better or whatever it is, yeah, who am I even if she left me or even if he left you, you know, even if he leave you in your case as well, that we are having similar examples. It's like, who are you to stay in the middle of that beautiful, loving, potential, lifelong relationship? And when I tap into this, that is what you said. And when I tap into this, you know, and I realized before, especially in terms of sex, I was thinking, oh, well, she had sex with somebody else. Because at some point we had the agreement of don't share anything unless somebody asks. And at some point I ask, and then she asked me back. So we have this conversation.
Yeah. Oh, God.
One of the most epic conversations of my life, Caitlyn. That I was like crying for hours. And
Babe.
that shame was, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I guess you know what I'm talking about. And before I kind of knew that she dated somebody else, and when I was thinking that, I mean, they met and they connect, they have some intimate experience.
Yeah.
And then before I kind of knew, and I was like getting super triggered, and I was feeling in my belly, Caitlyn, my belly pain, thinking that she may be being intimate with somebody else or having sex with another guy. And then in that vision, she's fucking enjoying it. You know? She's fucking enjoying and receiving pleasure and having a great time. And at some point I asked her, this is the only question that I asked her after she told me yes. I said to her, it was a good time. Did you enjoy it? That was the only question I asked. And she said, yeah, I'm crying like crazy. She said like, yes, my love, it was a good moment. I enjoy. And I was, okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. And makes me feel such an asshole. I really feel such an asshole being triggered and not wanting for she to experience this state of bliss and pleasure and connection, not necessarily sexual, with other people. It's like, and I collapse, Caitlyn. I don't understand. I don't understand where this is coming. And I ask myself, Seba, if you love her, why you're so fucking triggered by she experiencing deep state of pleasure and connection with somebody else? If you love her really, wouldn't you wish for her the most ecstatic, beautiful, loving base life? Well, she experienced that. The thing is, she experienced that with somebody else that is not you. Then why you feel like that? And that conversation with myself, I still have it. I'm still figuring it out where all these fear is coming, I guess is very primal. That's my main theory. It's very kind of reptilian brain on possessiveness and let's say what is in the like deep well rooted samskaras of the collective unconscious, things that we're carrying for generations of possessions or things like this. That's my main theory. But logically, when I think about that, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to feel so bad and trigger and so much pain for somebody that you love feeling deep state of pleasure and connection. And this is an inner conflict that I still have. And at some point of my meditation, I have been meditating on this. And I have been tapping, I have been getting glimpses of unconditional love.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I say unconditional love because if I still feel happiness and joy because my partner experiencing connection with somebody else or my ex-partner or whatever it is wow, what can be more close to unconditional love from that I have been experiencing so far?
Mm-hmm.
It's like no matter what you do, no matter with who, I love you so much that I want you to be happy and experience an ecstatic, beautiful life.
And within that love comes trust. It's like, and I trust you, and I trust me, and I trust life that we're safe no matter what. And you know, I feel like this is kind of that thing where like your mind and your heart clearly can see and understand to let your partner be with someone else and experience ecstatic bliss is beautiful. But your animal body is like, what? Hold the phone. No, like this does not feel good. So it's, and so that's just about the integration. And it doesn't have to go anywhere immediately. Like maybe this takes time and that's okay. It's like there's no rush. And it's all information. It's like all of it is, every piece of it is a part of us unwinding, claiming power, releasing, finding, you know, God within ourselves. And so just to savor this moment. It fucking sucks, but it's like, it's important. And super normal. It's like, and the animal body is the thing that gets most triggered, I feel, in these, because the heart and the mind can kind of understand, but the animal body is like jealous, and then it's afraid, and then it's this and it's that. And
part of me feels drawn to be exposed to that situation again, to practice it, to be exposed again to the fight. You, Caitlyn, as my coach and mentor, would you suggest that? Would you suggest that I create space for me in a safe environment, in a safe space, to be progressively exposed to that, to start to rewire my brain, to start operating instead of from the reptilian, primal animal brain to more like neocortex, evolve, divine tuning or whatever it is, part of me. Would you suggest that?
Yes, I would. I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to wait till you're in a relationship to do it. I'd say you can do it on your bed yourself after this call with a pillow, and you pretend that your partner is in front of you, your future partner, your past partner, and she tells you, and you hear her say, or you say, so did you sleep with someone? And then you come to her, you sit on her pillow, then you say, yes, I did. It was amazing. And you feel what it's like to be her and to have that experience. And then you swap places, and then you go, and whatever. And you just like, and you hit the pillow, and it's not like you're hitting her, but you're just releasing the emotion. And then maybe it becomes your fear, and then maybe it becomes something else. And so definitely work it through. And one of the things that my first major jealousy experience in non-monogamy was in my early 20s with this guy that I was so in love with. And he was seeing someone else. And I also had a boyfriend. And I was so jealous of this woman, like so jealous. And they were both working in films together. And so they were spending a lot of time together without me. So I didn't feel like I was part of it at all. And also I had no idea about like agreements and boundaries and stuff at that time. So I was just like a bit messy. But my mentor at the time said, do this thought experiment and this will set you free. So the thought experiment is to close your eyes and to imagine the moment where your partner comes to you and tells you, I'm sorry, Caitlyn, we have to break up. I'm going to be with this woman instead. I love her and we've got this really deep relationship. And to feel everything, and to feel the heartbreak, and to feel the pain. And to, like, really don't just imagine it, like fucking feel it, and scream and cry and write the letter of angst and whatever. And then imagine yourself the next day, and imagine yourself the day after that, and the week after that, and the month after that, and the year after that. And then pretty soon you realize it's all okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's a real process of setting you free.
I love that when the pillow exercise, that you change roles, and the other person, let's say you go into the role of the person that's sharing you, hey, I sleep with this guy or whatever. It's like you mentioned something very briefly, but I take a lot of value from it, which is like, and you will feel how the other person feel. This is understanding. You will understand the other person. And it's something that I always say in my classes or to my clients as well when I'm teaching philosophy or in Tantra workshops and things like this. Is something that I always mention, that understanding is key for love flows through. You know, it's like love will never flows effortless and naturally in abundance. Like, if you don't really apply understanding and you're so close there in your little world, you know, it's like observation without judgment leads to understanding. It's like in the example that you give to the pillows, you understand how the other people feel. And after you understand, create a space for love flows through. Because if you never understand, you will always be blind. You will live in the illusion, in the Maya, right? We need to move away. What are these blocks? And understand when we feel each other, when we really connect each other, even though I want to connect with you sounds cheesy, but it's true, you know. It's like when you connect at some point that you understand, there is like the whole highway for love opens, right? And I experienced that, and this come back to what you were mentioning several times today about this is what teach you trust. Out of all this experience, you start trusting more and more and more, and developing the habit of trusting more, not only in your other partner, but in life, in God, in the divine essence of the universe.